let's look back at this game where we had the LA Rams defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 24-34 was the final score of this one. And I'll be honest, guys, unexpected. I did not anticipate the Rams playing that well. I thought it would be much closer for sure. But the Rams, they really might be better than I thought they were. And I thought they were pretty good. But it's difficult to say because, like, as a Rams person, I have a hard time being like the Rams are just absolutely dominant because it's like obviously that's like it with this as my area of speaking. I mean, it's gonna sound ridiculous no matter what I say positive and like when I go that positive. So I just think that this team right now, like I really do think we are the best team in the NFL today, and it's not a. I mean, I don't think that that's going too overboard, and I hope not. I hope that nobody's out there like this guy's an absolute joke. I mean. That's true, but that's not the point, okay? The point is, this team is very good, and I thought that this team was good. They're better than I expected them to be. The way that they handled the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are a very strong football team, and I don't think that game against the Rams should make anybody look lesser on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because what they were doing out there on the field was not necessarily bad. I mean, yes, their secondary is an absolute joke. They just signed Richard Sherman today, or was that yesterday? It was this week they signed Richard Sherman, and it's something we talked about last week that they had those conversations. They had at least inquired. That is official now. He is officially a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. So they are trying to address it, but bringing in like an elder Richard Sherman, I just don't know if that's necessarily the answer. But on the offensive side of the football, in their front, I mean, none of that should be like, we shouldn't look less on the Bucs because of what the Rams did to them. You know what I mean? Like the Rams are just playing some good, clean football right now. And it is honestly, it's so much fun to watch. It's pretty awesome. But I'm a little bit nervous about the defense right now. I'll say that. But also I love it. So I'm a little bit torn in my true emotions about this Rams defense because the Rams defense is definitely giving up a lot. But they're also like, it feels like they're still in control. They are in control of the game, which is a weird thing. I mean, if entering week 3, you would have told me, hey, Tom Brady's going to throw for over 400 yards and no interceptions, I would have been like, oh, so we lose? Cool. And that is, I mean, the part A happened, the part B did not. Okay. So, it does make me nervous and it feels like there's going to be a team that can take advantage of that, but doesn't that feel like it would have been the Bucs that could have taken advantage of the way that the Rams are playing defense right now, which is very, I mean, not necessarily like pulled back or anything like that. It just seems like they're controlling it. They'll let you do what they want to let you do kind of thing. But if they don't want you to do something, you're not doing it. You know what I mean? So then obviously you don't want to give up any yards at all. If you could give up what if you could do what the Browns did to the Bears, that's always fun. But I think that the way that the Rams are kind of controlling it on defense is it feels interesting. And I don't even know if I would call it bend but don't break, but it just feels like they're just controlling the pace and just kind of letting things happen and then attacking when they see an attack opportunity. So I don't know. It feels like it's very much setting the pace here. Feel free to let me know if you guys agree or disagree with that, because I'm curious to see what other people have in mind about the Rams defense right now and how you feel about it. Because I've been seeing, on the social media networks that some fans are really, really nervous about this defense. And they're kind of like, everybody's kind of pulled back right now saying like, I don't know if we're going to be able to, like, I don't know, somebody's going to take advantage of it. But wouldn't that have been the Bucs? Like, it just feels like if somebody was going to take advantage of the way that the Rams are playing defense right now, it would have been Tom Brady and all those weapons. I know that they were out Antonio Brown, but doesn't it just feel like that's what would have happened? Let me know, guys. I need to know. Also, I thought these were just some pretty sweet statistics. The Rams are scoring on over 58% of their drives. That is awesome. That is first in the NFL. I don't think that I need to say that, but it is. They're scoring on quite a bit of their drives, and the defense is only giving up points on 22% of their drives. So looking pretty good right there. And I think that translates into a 3-0 record, trying to improve on that. Let's go ahead and give away our game badge. This week, it's going to Kenny Young. Kenny Young, he responded in such a big way. And I know there's people out there saying, hey, but Matthew Stafford was NFC Player of the Week. We'll talk about Matthew Stafford. But game badge? Game badge is a different level, all right? It's a different animal than just being like, hey, this guy had great numbers or anything like that. Cooper Kupp, yeah, awesome day. But Kenny Young, based on what happened in week 2, him getting ejected, I went on a whole thing about it last week in the episode of Rams Showcase. Went on a whole thing talking about Kenny Young and how I thought he was going to respond really well, and he did just that. He led the team with 8 total tackles. He also notched a sack and a forced fumble after being ejected in week 2. Young had an awesome week 3, and that is just, it's perfect to see that. It's like that. That's exactly what you want to see. His press conference was perfect. I mean, he comes out and he's just, you know, he's like, that's what we needed to do. I learned a lot, and that is what we do. You know what I mean? So this is absolutely perfect. This game badge could have definitely gone to Stafford if not for Kenny Young's performance and his press conference. Honestly, that was like a big selling point for myself. He answered everything perfectly, and I really do expect a very focused, a very zoned in, a very aggressive, controlled aggressive Kenny Young for the rest of the 2021 season. I do think that he is the Rams' top linebacker right now. I know that we've got Leonard Floyd. I know Justin Hollins was playing really great before his injury. We'll talk about that here in a second, but I think that Kenny Young is our guy. And I'm a little bit surprised maybe not to see him with the green dot, but also, I mean, it's Jordan Fuller who's got the green dot. So, I mean, it's hard to think that that's a bad thing. Let's go to the next one here. These are not game badges. These are just some notable performances. Performi? You get it. Quarterback Matthew Stafford. He continues to make his presence felt on this offense. I mean, we can tell that there is a different guy at the quarterback position, and he's very good at this game of football that we all love to watch so much. You expect it from a quarterback. You expect him, like, the presence to be felt from the quarterback position, but dang. I mean, it is palpable. You know what I mean? It is a very real thing that you can just feel that this team is just much better because of Stafford. 27 of 38, 343 yards, 4 tutties, 0 picks. Was sacked 1 time. He was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, which is great news. I mean, he was that in week 1. He gets it in week 2, or week 3, I mean. So, yeah, we're looking pretty sweet right now. And honestly, Stafford's on record-setting pace. He's thrown, I saved it here. I didn't write it, but I did save a picture. Oh, I guess I did not save the picture. That's too bad. But he's doing better than the 99 Kurt Warner start. You know what I mean? That's like, he's got more yards, better completion percentage, I think even touchdowns, and then less picks. So, I mean, the way that he's able to, the way that he came in starting this season for the LA Rams, unreal. He's on a record-setting pace. I know we added a game, but he is doing just, he's playing phenomenal. And I'd like to make note that every single person, every single one that I saw that was leading up into the season going like, well, we'll see Matthew Stafford. Never won a playoff game because he played for the Lions. Like, we don't even know if he's good. All those people have either A, disappeared, or B, have owned up to those comments and have absolutely come out and said, I was wrong. And that's all I appreciate because I'm that guy. I'll say I'm wrong if I'm wrong, okay? So I do request that from everybody else. All those people that were saying, like, well, Matthew Stafford, we don't know if he's any good. He's never even won a playoff game. Like, he's never done this. He's never done this. He's injury prone, all this stuff. They're sitting there now going like, dang, Stafford is great. We got ourselves a guy. Too bad we got him at 33, but we'll still get him for a couple years, and hopefully some cool things happen over these next couple years. Feel good about that. Wide receiver Deshaun Jackson was finally able to haul in a deep ball, and how the heck did these Bucs let that happen when we tried 2 times before we actually hit on it? These Bucs are bad in the secondary, man. Bad in the secondary. Jackson did voice some mild displeasure of his lack of utilization in the Rams offense to this point, but he did bring in the 75-yard tutty pass from our quarterback, Matthew Stafford, because that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. That's one of my favorite memes to post or work quotes. That's my quarterback. But also, with that catch, that 75-yard touchdown catch, Deshaun Jackson ties Lance Allworth, former Charger, for most 75-plus yard touchdown catches for a career with 9 total. So one more 75-plus yard tutty for D-Jax, and he will stand alone in that spot. And on the game, he had 3 receptions for 120 yards and the tutty. So if you guys are keeping track at home, that's 40 yards average. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Wide receiver Cooper Kupp had 9 catches for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, his amazing start is just, I mean, it continues. And he's on a record-setting pace. He's actually on pace right now to have 2,079 receiving yards and 28 touchdowns. That's pretty good. I don't know if he hits those numbers, okay? That would be pretty extreme because you got to think in some way. There's going to be some teams out there that are going to try to slow him down, and we've also got the other guys. We got Bobby Trees, we got Van Jefferson, we got Djax, we got Higbee. I mean, we'll be able to supplement that, but you got to think some teams are going to start to take him out. But he is currently first in the NFL in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. 367 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns.
You guys made it all the way to the end of the video. Do you know what that means? That you're the best. You're the absolute best. What I need from you now, if you have not already, go ahead on this side, you can subscribe. And if you like this clip, I guarantee you're going to like the entire thing. That's going to be on this side here. Peace! Go Rams!